Hi.
Hey, ladies and gents, it's your old buddy, your old pal, Josh Wallen here, once again, with a Sonic 1 stream, this time getting all the emeralds. And this time, on the other end of the tin cannon string, it's the hot tea to my cold tea, that's all I've got, Shay May. And on the other end of his tin cannon string, Shay, would you like to introduce the third man in this picture?
It's Dustin, also known as Dustin VG Master, who is actually certified master's degree in VG.
That's impressive.
I know, yeah, it's bloody good.
Yeah, it took a lot of studying.
And we've got a poll going here. Which character should I use for the Emerald Run? Sonic or Tails? And as you can see, the votes don't lie, and they spell disaster for Tails. So
I think that is fine on account of those horrible, racist things that Tails said on Twitter.
Fair enough then. It'll be Sonic, and this is the Android version of Sonic 1, the remastered version done by Taxman and Stealth.
You know, I think it says a lot about Sonic's current PR that I can't tell if what Shay said was sarcastic or not.
I gotta remember here that I'm doing an Emerald Run, which I don't do super often. So I'll need to take my time for a change.
Things I wanted to say. One was, hello, Indigo Rush. Cheers for sending me that file, that game. That was smashing. That was really cool to see. The second thing was, sorry, just before we cut out there, I was going to answer SKM Pouge's question.
Sure.
About why would classic Sonic be better for modern media.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically like what happened was in the 90s you had a very 90s aesthetic. I'm not going to go too far into that, otherwise we're going to be here forever. Okay, kind of, where everything had to become more kind of radical. I think kind of in response to everything in the 80s becoming more adult, like a lot of things coming out and becoming more adult. So kind of in the 90s a lot of kids stuff tried to like attitude it up. Then in the 2000s, it kind of everything got a bit dark. Everything got more detailed. Everything had to be realistic and everything. So that was kind of the what informed like the Sonic Adventure style, where everything was more detailed and more realistic. Sonic was taller. He had green eyes. You know, he was more detailed and all that. But nowadays we've kind of gone back to simplicity. That's when you're kind of seeing very bright, vibrant, kind of like Technicolor cartoons like Adventure Time and Steven Universe and all that stuff. Which
so basically, that classic Sonic is like looks like he's more of this time than modern Sonic does, and I can see that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like a bit more abstract in design, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, that's because one of the major things is back in like the Sonic Adventure era, they were like, well, how does Sonic actually curl into a ball? So they actually made it like showed him curling into a ball. He no longer like turned into that abstract sphere. And everyone went, yeah, okay, that's much better. And then kind of as we've evolved out of that kind of like realistic zeitgeist, we're now in kind of a more streamlined, simpler time. And so that's where you come in like with classic Sonic with the black eyes.
Well, I think what it is, I mean, of course, everybody's gonna have a bias on this if you're a Sonic fan at all, because you're gonna like what you came in on. You know, you're gonna like the version of the character that you came in on. But I think classic Sonic is. Oh god, gotta get that. Crap. I didn't get it. I was talking and I forgot to go to the special stage. Classic Sonic's design is, well, it's more classic. It's more sort of. He has sort of like the same timeless design that like cartoon characters designed in like the 30s and 40s have.
A very kind of Felix the Cat influence.
Oh yes, definitely.
There's a lot less fat on him. That's kind of what I mean with the detail. It's like there's less to him. There's like less. And sorry, this is kind of going back in, but like I think, like you say, one of the reasons he's kind of more timeless and more classic, if you will, is because there isn't really a bit of classic Sonic that is extraneous. There isn't a design element that is, like, superfluous or out of place. Everything has a purpose.
Nothing unnecessary.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas, yeah, I mean, modern Sonic looks like Not always. I mean, this can be like toned down quite a bit, but there are times like even like in his just 3D models, he looks like a product of 1999. He looks like khaki shorts and other things that were popular in 1999. I'm not a fashion person.
Sonic looks like khaki shorts.
Sonic looks
Josh,
like khaki
2016. But yeah, I'll be honest, I kind of prefer classic Sonic a bit more, but I don't really, feel too strongly either way. I kind of enjoy them both for some reason.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not sitting here like saying, oh, modern Sonic, anything with modern Sonic is terrible.
No.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, just chiming in.
It's kind of like what I said in the Sonic Adventure video, was that like when I saw the artwork for the new redesigned Sonic, like I was kind of like revolt, like I had this feeling of revulsion of how like linky and sort of extreme his features were, and then I saw the model in game and I'm like, okay, this is fine.
I'm just imagining you seeing the design and just like retching out loud.
I don't think it was out loud, but I definitely I probably made a face. But by the way, chat room, before I forget this, during this run through, after this, we will probably be doing the fanfiction reading. If you see at the top there, the $75 stretch goal was to do a fanfiction reading. So if anybody knows of some really particularly bad Sonic fanfiction, see what you can come up with. Because it would be nice to have something ready to go as far as that goes. And if you guys,
there's one called Sonic Makes Fuck with Axl Rose.
okay.
Try and find me that one, please.
Should we have a content rating limit on these?
I'm gonna say no, and just see what happens. No content rating.
If there are any children in the audience,
now that said, I don't want
your
it to
parents
be
in the
anything that's like don't make it just like out and out smut. You know, make it something that's gonna be funny to read.
Ideally, like content that's questionable but not outright inappropriate, maybe.
I remember reading this fanfiction once where Sonic had gone crazy. I think it was Sonic went crazy and he broke Tails' arm. Like he killed Tails and then he broke his arm off. And it described it described in excruciating detail the process of Sonic figuring out how to rip Tails' arm off.
So he'd already killed him and he was just like, you know what?
You know what? Screw you, Tails' corpse.
Waste not, want not. That's what I say.
I was like 11 years old reading this thing.
Yeah, I remember kind of reading, kind of like being young and reading some of the more sordid shit on the internet and thinking to myself like, this is bad. This is
the Saturday morning cartoon like fan community took that serious concept and went very far with it in their fanfic sometimes.
Oh, Miles is asking, is the camera in Marble Zone 1 fixed in the Android version? Like how you can suicide by looking up and jumping? I honestly have no idea. How about you guys?
I didn't even know you could do that, but I'm almost certain it's fixed because this is running in an entirely different engine. And I know this engine was originally built to like have the same properties as Sonic 3, and of course it's been modified. But in Sonic 3, like so many levels took advantage of like screen wrapping that I'd be awfully surprised if that glitch was still present.
Yeah, like somebody brought it up in the chat. I'm surprised nobody brought up Tails Goldfish until just now.
Tails Goldfish was fantastic.
I was there for that. That was a good time.
I kind of don't want to know.
Tails Goldfish
abridged,
yeah, go ahead.
Abridged, Tails has a goldfish. I think Knuckles... No, it was like... No, I take it... Was it Tails that had the goldfish, or was it like the author insert?
I don't remember, and I kind of just want to read it again now.
But basically, let's just say Tails. Tails had a goldfish, and the author insert character was asked to watch it. I mean, yeah, watch after the goldfish. But then he got bored or something and called Knuckles, and Knuckles ate the goldfish.
That's such a specific situation. Like
it was. That was what made it so fantastic.
I mean, listen. I remember being a kid, and of course, as a kid, you do kid things. You know, you play Sonic the Hedgehog because Sonic's for kids.
Sure.
But I remember like, and I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm going to make my Sonic character, and it's going to be this raccoon, and it's going to be awesome, and you know, and I was making that, but he was like fighting Dr. Robotnik and stuff. He wasn't eating a goldfish.
The thing is though, it was Knuckles that ate the goldfish. You got to keep that in mind.
But it was the fan insert character's fault that Knuckles ate the goldfish because he should have been
in
more
between regarding the Master Emerald, he's fucking like, I don't know, he just devours people's pets.
What's a Master Emerald?
It's bizarre. It's why that specific. It's not even a fetish or anything. That just sounds like something somebody thought one day. Like, you know what's going to happen?
Okay,
you know what I feel like writing? You know what I feel like having as my epoch on the internet?
The thing is, that is a fetish, but I have a feeling that it had nothing to do with the fan fiction.
Yeah, Shay, be more sensitive. Anything can be a fetish.
Yeah, I mean, not even being sensitive, it's just, you have to give the internet credit.
I'm just trying to imagine what, like, the process of that was. Like, was he finishing watching, like, A Fish Called Wanda? Was he playing Project Rob by any chance?
I think regardless of whether or not we read any, like, another fanfiction too, I think we pretty much have to read this one now, because I don't remember the detailed plot beats of it, but I want to find that again.
You want to recap?
Yes. I need to experience Tails' Goldfish once again.
But yeah, I'll be honest. While it wasn't quite to that level, and it didn't usually involve like other people's IPs, I will admit I wrote some really freaking weird stories when I was a kid in the form of comic books.
When I was about 11, I'll tell you what. When I was about 11, I wrote a Full House fanfic. I never put it on the internet, fortunately.
I think if you need an idea of what like a little kid given resources will come up with, just go read Axe Cop.
Like, oh yeah, no, I like Axe Cop's brilliant. Right, okay, see, fanfic gets a bad rap, right? Do you know what the only difference between fanfic and a kid writing is? That it's online. That somebody else can read it.
Yeah, I didn't put mine online, thankfully.
Like, if I had online when I was at that age, I suspect I probably would have been. But the thing is, right, is I started writing what amounts to Sonic fanfiction, like for Sonic the Comic Online. I started writing that when I was like 19, 20.
I mean,
and
hey,
my fucking childhood hero said that he had read my stuff and he really liked it. So like Richard Elson said to me, like, I've actually read your stuff and like it's really good, and I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, so I always feel bad when somebody's like disparaging fan fiction entirely, but at the same time, Knuckles ate a goldfish.
Well, it's kind of the same effect as what we were talking about earlier, where like people who aren't Sonic fans only see the very worst aspects of like what a Sonic fan can be, i.e., Christian.
Wait. Asparagus, you know who you are. He found Tails Goldfish.
Excellent. I'm in Act 3, aren't I?
I feel like, you know, fan fiction, like a lot of things, you got your good and your bad. It's just that with fan fiction, the door is kind of low for entry, or the bar.
No, when I was in like middle and high school, I never. Or I hardly ever like took a stab at writing fanfic, but like I really enjoyed a lot of the stories. You know, I like there was a period of time where I did like frequent fanfiction.net quite a bit.
I don't really ever read any of it, not because I'm like, oh, this stuff's all bad. It's just that, you know, there's too much of it, and
Sorry, it's just I was thinking I'll probably need to go after this playthrough.
Sure.
Do you want me to be here for the fanfic, or do you want to let definitive dubs in?
I don't know. I'd say the more the merrier.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about having more than like for the fanfic portion we can have 4 people. That's fine.
Well, so do you just want to do the fanfic reading just now? Is what I'm saying.
Oh, I was gonna do it after this playthrough, but if you've got to go after that, then we could do it now, sure.
I mean, like, it's entirely up to you. I mean, I'm not like, I'll probably end up reading the fanfic and then just making a very confused face, so I probably won't be.
I mean, there's really no wrong time for Knuckles Goldfish.
I don't
Let's be
think
real
so
here.
either. Oh god. No, let me finish Marble Zone here, and then yeah, we'll go ahead and read Knuckles Goldfish at the very least, and then we might come back later after this playthrough and read something else if the chat finds it. But we've hyped up Knuckles Goldfish so much now. I feel like we need to experience it.
You mean re-experience it?
Yes.
But yeah, on the subject of fan fiction, I have actually dabbled in fan games, so I don't know if that counts. I mean, I guess
no,
in a way,
I think
maybe.
fan games is a pretty distinct category.
Oh, I think one of us misread it as, or missaid it as a Knuckles Goldfish.
Oh yeah,
Tails, Goldfish, and Knuckles.
See, the thing about that is it just becomes Tails and Knuckles like midway through the story.
Let me see here.
Do you want to hear my favourite Sonic joke?
Go for it.
What's the difference between Sonic and Knuckles?
Unlike Sonic, he doesn't chuckle.
You can't fit 4 Sonics in your mum's fanny.
I feel more confused than anything else. I mean, like, they're kind of confused where I understand the joke, kind of, but I just feel confused and bewildered all the same.
It's the worst joke I'm sorry. My friend once sent that to me on Facebook without a prompt, like in front of my lecturers and my heroes and everything.
Alright, there you go. We have Tails.
My favorite
And
Sonic joke,
Go for it.
Big the Cat.
Oh shit. Okay.
And that'll work. We need to get definitive dubs back on here for this.
Absolutely.
I hope he's still around. Is he still around? He said he was going to go get his...
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. He posted Kappa face.
All right. That's professional.
And then Langton says his favorite Sonic joke is Rise of Lyric.
All right, Ben, when you get in here, well, I guess I'll wait for him. All right, Ben, could you post in the Skype chat here a link to Tails' Goldfish for us?
All right. It's time to experience Tails Goldfish. If I can open the chat, I don't know how.
I've got it. It's a...
Oh, here it is. Sumid. So I take credit for discovering this as well as my friend Meredith. We discovered this when we were just looking at random Sonic fanfiction and we lost it. So this is basically the My Immortal of Sonic fanfiction, we think.
Abandon hope, all ye who enter here.
So I read this at another Sonic stream we did. I think it was last year.
Yeah, I think it was.
And
go ahead.
It was just amazing. Like, anyway, Dustin was there, Josh was there, Shay was not there, so.
Shay should have been there.
I'm gonna read the description here. Tails goes to the pet store and found his one joy of his life. Tails hired my fan character, Neil the Fox. Neil the Fox is a green fox that looks like Tails. But Neil can't watch Tails' Goldfish for no reason. What will happen next?
Yeah,
rated,
give him
rated,
some compensation.
Rated T for teen. Genre, hurt, comfort.
Hurt/comfort, that's a genre.
Was this written by Google Translate?
Welcome, friends, to another exciting, dramatic Sonic fan fiction reading.
By William Shatner.
Let us begin.
All right, Ben, do you want to be the narrator?
Yes.
All right, let's see. Who is in this? We need... Who wants to be Tails?
Oh, well, I gotta pull up the, I gotta pull it up if we're gonna do voices. Hang
Sure.
on.
Tails' one joy, a goldfish. That's depressing.
Yeah, his one joy of his life. And I'm sure that we need somebody to be Knuckles as well.
And
we need somebody
should we
to be
do
Neil the Fox.
auditions? Should we do auditions?
I'll do Knuckles. I'll do Knuckles in a very bored voice.
All right.
All right, I need a demonstration.
Hi, I'm Knuckles. Spaghetti and meatball.
That's great. Say oh no.
Oh no.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
you're perfect.
Yep, he's the man for the job. All right, I think the big question here, though, who's going to be Neil? The biggest, most important character.
The fucking spine of this entire narrative rests on your voice acting talents.
Ben,
Dustin should be Neil.
All right, Dustin can be Neil. Ben, Ben, if it's alright with you, I think you narrated last time. So is it cool if I narrate this time?
You said I was gonna narrate.
Yeah,
Right, but we gotta figure out what Neil sounds like.
Because I'm the voice acting guy. I can make it sound.
No, that's true.
Okay,
you can do it if you want to. I don't care.
You can do it.
And
I'll be Tails.
All right, you can be Tails, and I think that's all the characters. I think it's Knuckles, Neil, and Tails.
Yeah, like I said though, we gotta figure out what Neil sounds like. What does Neil sound like?
All right. Well, Neil is a fan character, of course. He's a green fox that looks like Tails.
So he should sound like this.
You can see a picture of him right there.
Oh yeah,
What you
there
do
is a
you
picture of
just
him.
voice him exactly like Blails. How?
I can't do Blails.
How embarrassing!
Don't eat my goldfish, Neil.
Oh god. Can anyone else do Tails? I can't do Tails.
I feed board.
You know, we'll just figure it out as we go.
All right.
Will we just take it in turns, or will we just do like a paragraph each?
No, actually, I think I might just give Neil a different voice every single line.
You know, I'll tell
you
you what, Shay. I like that idea better than just one narrator. So yeah, like I'll read the first paragraph. Shay, if you want to read the second paragraph, and then we'll switch off.
So instead of doing characters, we'll just do paragraph by paragraph.
Yeah, I think that'd
Yeah.
be more fun because then you get to see all of our interpretations, perhaps.
Yeah.
All right, so I will start. Here we go. Tales as Goldfish by Germer L720.
That's General 720. Josh,
So-
you fucked the whole thing.
I'm so sorry.
So
Abort!
sit back by the fire, have some milk and cookies or something. We're gonna dive right in.
The Geek Critique Stories. Here we go. Tails had no joy of his life. I feel bored, said Tails.
No, it's I feed board. You gotta keep
You're
it dramatic.
Sorry. I mentally corrected that when I should not have. I feed bored, said Tails. Tails had a light bulb on his head that he decided to get a pet. To the pet store! Tails shouted. Tails drove his car and drives to the pet store.
He's got a fucking car?
All right. Wait. Are we?
Of course.
Say paragraph
Wait.
two.
Okay. How are we going through turns here?
It'll be
I'll
me,
go
then
next,
Shay, then Dustin, then Ben, then me.
Oh man, my paragraph is a real long one.
Yes.
Tails parked his car and locked his car. Tails opened the door and he told the employer and he said, I'm sorry, Mr. Tails. We don't have any more pets. Tails is really sad that they have no more pets. But wait, we'll have only one pet left, said the employer. The only pet had survived. Survived what?
The nuclear bombing of the pet store.
The fucking perfect chaos.
No,
All's well.
you know, you remember the Pee Wee Herman movie with the pet store on fire? That's what happened.
Okay.
So when Pee Wee Herman. Okay.
This is
The only pet had survived is a goldfish. Tails' heart-shaped eyes that he found the only one joy of his life. Tails pulls out a bag of money and drops it to the table, and the employer is surprised that there is a lot of cash, and Tails finally got his goldfish.
I like to believe that Tails is just like, screw it, sold, and just drops all of his funds onto the counter.
Yeah.
All right, ready for this. Okay. Tails unlocked his car and named his goldfish Finn. Tails drove back to his home. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed it. I'll be here all week.
Yes, that was a paragraph.
No, there's a comma there, so it should be like, Tails unlocked his car and named his goldfish Finn. Meanwhile, back with Neil.
What? What do you mean back with Neil? We haven't met Neil yet.
Neil the fox walks out and sits on his lawn chair. Ah, time to relax, said Neil. Neil takes out some gum and puts it in his mouth. Neil throws the gum wrapper away in the garbage can.
Well, good.
Where else would he put the gum? I shudder to imagine.
When Tails parked his car and hops out of the car and runs straight to Neil, and Tails bellowed, "Hey, Neil! Neil!" Neil spits out gum and he said, "Oh God, here we go." What the fuck does Neil sound like?
It's just the fucking second he appears, it's like Neil's going, "Oh fuck, here he comes." Time to go.
Alright. Neil spits out gum and he said, "Well, time to go." Neil folds up the lawn chair. Neil, wait! Yelled Tails. "Now what, Tails?" said Neil.
He suddenly
All this happened, more or less. The war parts, anyway, are pretty much true. One guy I knew really was shot in Dresden for taking a teapot that wasn't hit. Sorry, this is Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse 5. My mistake.
Oh. Like, somebody's got to read the next paragraph. It's going to take a while.
Yes.
This is...
Neil, you've got to see this, replied Tails.
God, Tails hit puberty through there.
This is the full life consequences of Sonic fanfiction.
Alright. Tails grabbed Neil's green-colored foxtail and dragged him to Tails' bedroom,
Oh, shit.
Wow, kinky.
home of Tails' goldfish.
That's a sentence! The sentence is home of Tails' goldfish.
I just imagine that in a fucking tourist board. Tails' bedroom, home of Tails' goldfish.
Come on, keep going.
Neil unfolds up the lawn chair.
What? Where did he get
I
a
think
lawn
we skipped over. I think we skipped over my turn. Did we?
No,
oh, no,
Ben,
we didn't.
Ben,
Keep going.
you're four. You're four.
Keep going.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Tails introduced his goldfish. "Don't eat my goldfish, Neil," demanded Tails, folding his arms.
I feel like
promise, I won't eat your goldfish, replied Neil. "Good boy, Neil," replied Tails.
Replied.
I feel like these two might have a history of this happening. It just sounds like Tails has to get it right out of the gates.
That is weird, isn't it?
It sounds like a fucking throwaway exchange between Ed and Tom from Ed's World.
Like, I wouldn't introduce my pet to somebody and say, "By the way, here's my pet, don't eat it." Why does he have to do that? Tails went to the grocery shopping, and Neil is getting close to Tails' goldfish and slowly walked to Tails' goldfish. Neil paused that Tails is finally here, and Neil fed the goldfish. "So you did a good job, Neil!" Tails is impressed that he fed Tails' goldfish.
Tails has to run a few errands. "I quit!" said Neil the Fox.
Oh, dramatic.
"I quit!"
Alright. Neil called Knuckles to replace his goldfish watch job. "Hello, Knuckles. I'm Neil the Fox, the mascot of Jimmero 720 Post, aka Jimmero 720 Postal Service," said Neil the Fox. "I would like to replace the goldfish job. Tails is having a few errands, and I have to call you so you can come to me, Knuckles."
Knuckles arrived to Tails' house, and Neil quits his goldfish watching job, and Knuckles took over. "Ah, finally my real time to relax," said Neil the Fox. Neil pulls out a lawn chair and sits on his lawn chair. Neil takes out some gum and puts it in his mouth. Neil throws the gum wrapper away in the garbage can.
This is like, this character's, like, it's like he sat down and was like, okay, my self-insert Sonic character needs some personality traits. Lawn chairs, gum, throws wrappers in garbage can. There we go.
Langton Line 64, come to me, Jimmy.
All right,
Bond with me, Goldfish.
here's the dramatic turn. Here it comes. Tails has finished his errands and walks home and unlocked the door. Knuckles pulled his head away from Tails' goldfish and sits down, and Tails said, "Good job," with a pause, and he said angrily, "Where is Neil the Fox?" Knuckles freaks out. Neil called me to replace the goldfish job for Neil, so I decided to take over the goldfish job for Neil. Good, 3 Neils in that one sentence, said Knuckles. Good job for taking over Neil's task, said Tails.
The sun is setting down into night. Congratulations on your new job, Knuckles, said Tails. Your new fucking full-time employment. Knuckles goes to sleep. Just fucking immediately. He's a narcoleptic, apparently.
As soon as the sun goes down, Knuckles is out.
Neil goes to his house and everybody sleeps. Knuckles sleeps and dreams about goldfish crackers. Now, depending on the inflection that I put on that, you could have 2 very different readings of that sentence.
It's goldfish crackers. It's the beta of Goldfish Chaotix.
Knuckles wakes up from his sleep. Knuckles sneaks to Tails' room and reached his arm and grabs Tails' goldfish and finally devoured Tails' goldfish and tasted good. Ah, that's the best midnight snack ever, said Knuckles with a whisper. Knuckles went back to sleep.
The next morning, Tails woke up and in a happy mood and walks to his fishbowl and gasps that his goldfish is missing. No! And you see he drops an octave when he screams, My goldfish is gone! Tails screamed. Tails cried that his goldfish is gone. Knuckles had a tummy ache that he ate his goldfish. Knuckles, where's my goldfish? Asked Tails in anger. Knuckles confessed and he said, I ate your goldfish, and I felt horrible about the tummy because I had a tummy ache.
I felt horrible about the tummy.
Tails punched in the gut really hard, and his goldfish is already dead because of the gastro acids from Knuckles' stomach.
So Tails just punched him in the stomach, hoping that he would, spit out the goldfish?
No, I think he punched him in the stomach to, kind of diagnose the state of the goldfish.
Yeah, I like that better.
I like to think the goldfish just flew out of Knuckles' mouth, but it was a skeleton.
Ah, yes.
Tails fired Knuckles for eating Tails' goldfish, and that was his only one joy of his life.
Tails has no reason left to live.
Knuckles felt horrible that it has his one joy of his life, and Knuckles comforted Tails with a bit of a teary apology.
Knuckles learned a lesson and felt sad, and Knuckles runs away forever.
What fucking lesson did he learn? Not to eat somebody else's pet? Because that's fucking basic etiquette, Knuckles, you dick. Tails locked every door. Not just in his house, every door.
God.
And Knuckles finally came out of Tails' house. And Tails...
He went away forever, but, to Tails' house.
This contradicts the previous paragraph.
Tails locked every door, and Knuckles finally came out of Tails' house, and Tails invented the reversal reviver and recovered his goldfish, and he said, Finn, you're alive, said Tails. Tails cried for joy that he was sorry that he hired Knuckles, and Tails lived happily ever after.
Knuckles, how...
So Knuckles, it should have said Knuckles tried to run away forever, but he couldn't because Tails locked all the doors. And, Knuckles doesn't have any ability to, punch through walls at all.
And I guess it kind of confirms my theory, because, see, if Knuckles ran away forever, Tails wouldn't be able to revive his fish, for there would be nothing to revive.
Ah, yes.
Also, Langton says, could use a little salt.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the chat for the first time now. Re-replied. I do hope you guys enjoyed that. That was fun.
It might have been even better the second time.
Asparagus EDU says reversal reviver, so killer. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a double negative.
Well, I would have
zombies.
preferred if Tails, in order to use it, he had to use it on Knuckles, and it killed Knuckles but it brought his Goldfish back to life.
It's like that bit at the end of The Last of Us where he has to choose between the life of his goldfish and the life of Knuckles.
So
Anyway,
that was Tails'
The Last of Us and Knuckles.
I kind of want to find more goldfish.
More
fan
Goldfish?
fiction.
Has this guy ever written anything else?
He has, but they're not as good as this.
Okay.
sorry,
That doesn't
right,
surprise me.
I'd better go myself.
All
See
right,
you,
Shay.
Shay.
Well, it's been good having you on, man.
Thank you for having me on. It's been a laugh. And thank you to everybody in the chat and everybody in the Skype call and everybody that wrote Knuckles Goldfish.
Yes.
So that one guy.
As in that one guy.
Yeah,
And Google Translate.
So, does anybody else want to go in the call? If not, I'll just stay here since Shay's not here anymore.
Yeah, that'll work.
Bye.
Let me.
Oh,
I don't know,
gee, he
personally-
ate my goldfish again. That's the third time this month.
See, that's how it comes across. That is a wonderful story, and thank you for bringing it to my attention.
Oh,
So
Should we do another, given that we've technically read that one before? Or do you think that's
so.
enough for today?
No, I think after I get done with what I'm doing right now, yeah, it'll be fine to go ahead and read
so like
more.
a gap between it, so it feels fresher.
Yes. So
I
somebody
don't
can find
know any-
another good, fairly short Sonic fanfic like that'll be great.
yeah. Otherwise, we're probably just gonna read full life consequences.
No, I was
Also,
I was totally trying to channel full life consequences when I was doing that.
Also, ideally not a fan fiction where I should have to read about Tails x Knuckles, because I'd rather not.
Neil the Fox, who is Tails' brother, was one day in an office typing on a computer. He got an email from Tails that said aliens and badniks were attacking his place, and asked him for help. So he went.
John Freeman, no! Was that intentionally... Was Full Life Consequences, like, intentionally written that bad? To be bad?
Nobody knows. I think it was because he only made a sequel when it got popular.
Like,
It's still a mystery.
I know all of the imitators that came out of it afterward were kind of like takeoffs of it, but I always sort of suspected that maybe, just maybe, the original version like was legitimately like trying to be better than it was.
It captures that camp value of trying to be good, but it's not.
Yeah. Doing
Yeah,
camp intentionally is very difficult.
Yeah, I never really cared much for so bad it's good on purpose kind of stuff.
Yeah,
There's-
like that's why The Room is so good because
because it feels like it's trying to be good.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, I just realized I forgot to talk to Shay about my Metroid idea. I wonder if he's still around. I wonder if he's still listening or not.
Shay. Oh, he's not here.
No big deal.
Well, he may be listening to the chat, but so I mentioned in the chat that I was gonna do a video comparing Sonic voice actors throughout the years, since nobody's ever really done that.
Well, I've seen it done, just not done well.
Yeah, Steven Nux did it, and that's what gave me the idea. But he didn't. That video's kind of outdated, and he wasn't really critical. He was just kind of, yeah, this happened, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it's
Not
just
to-
like
not
a
to
picture of that
not-
version of Sonic and then some voice clips.
Yeah, not to take away from what he did, since he inspired me to do it, but. And he did bring up some good points, like his Knuckles comparison was pretty good.
By the way, now that we're in this this full screen monitor mode again, we can see that every time Ben talks, his Skype picture is in fact Shadow the Hedgehog. So it makes sense that you were talking about that earlier.
That's because when I do Sonic fan dubs, I do a shadow voice.
The dark chocolate.
What?
Right,
Ah, crap. There's this video. I'm not sure if it's still on YouTube. It's a really old video. It's like this. I think there were only like three or four episodes made of it. It was like this guy was going to teach you how to cook and do like gaming style recipes. He has an episode where he makes dark chocolate and he acts like Shadow the Hedgehog the whole time.
Dark chocolate. Where's that damn dark chocolate bar?
I need to kind of focus in here, or I'm going to get to the end of this game without getting all the emeralds, and that would be a tragedy, frankly.
Tragedy strikes the geek critique.
But gotta be honest.
964 is now following.
Good stuff.
S Jinx02 says he wants to join now.
All right. By the way, Dustin, before I get somebody else on, not that I'm kicking Dustin off. I'm kicking Ben off again. Sorry, Ben. I love you.
No, but I'm squatting.
But by the way, Dustin, how did you first come to be a Sonic fan?
I honestly don't remember. I think it's just I was sitting there one day and then Sonic materialized in front of me.
So were you one of the kids in the Sonic Live comic book that Ken Penders wrote? Are you one of Ken Penders' nephews?
Were you one of the kids on the Sonic X 4 Kids forum that were saying they saw Sonic in real life?
I mean,
I'm not surprised. But
that. In all seriousness, I just don't know. I mean, I think I started with either Advance 2, one of the two adventure games, or Mega Collection. I'm not sure which out of those, but one of those. Sometime during the GameCube era.
Josh, how come you never attempt to jump off that ramp at the end of Spring Yard?
I'm not really paying much attention to what I'm doing, and I'm not, like, even though I'm sure I just did it, I don't even know which ramp you're talking about.
At the end of Act 2, the ramp, when you drop down, right before the goal.
No, I know, I sort of, like, I don't even think about it when I'm playing these games, so I can't even picture what you're talking about.
Okay.
If I remember, I'll go back and explain. I'll go back and look at it.
I mean, it's not really worth it. It's just, I just realized that they point the right way to go in these mazes because they're marked with rings.
Yep. Well, sometimes.
By the way, Dustin was talking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
What were you saying, Justin? I was just saying something about, one day Sonic appeared, Sonic games, and I played them. And then I did it some more for the considerable future.
One day I played Sonic, then I did it some more.
So then, what would you say? What would you say is your favorite Sonic game?
That's a tough
that.
one, but I think it's a three-way tie between 3, the completed version, if that makes a difference, CD, and Generations.
All right, fair enough.
I like Sonic 3 and Knuckles because it's a perfect video game.
It is. I was already being objective.
Objection. No.
Man, I introduced that whole objectivity time gimmick, like, just for the sake of subverting it when I got to Sonic 3. Like, as soon as I came up with it, I knew that's what I was gonna do.
I kind of missed the cheesy little gimmicks you used to do. Uh-oh, it's time for geek words.
Like, God, not this again.
Just interrupt the whole video to teach you the definition of a word.
Superannuated.
Super Mario Kart is superannuated.
Do you kind of look back on those like old videos with a little bit of embarrassment?
Really only Mario Kart. Mario Kart is probably and maybe Sonic 2 as well, because it was still pretty early. But, like, Mario Kart is the only one that I really look at and I say, man, there are significant things that I would do differently here if I was making it now.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's kind of like, I look back at the first episode of the Mega Man Zero dub I did, and it has almost, I want to say 15,000 views or so. And, like, every comment says, wow, this is so good. Like, yeah, you should watch the all other ones because they're way better than this.
Yeah, because you get better as you go along.
I kind of want to remake it, but some people say, you know, it's better to see how you evolved, and I'm like, no, that's...
And just keep on moving ahead.
Well,
no time for kissing, follow my plan instead!
Well, I can, actually, like, properly record 3DS footage now, so I'm thinking about doing, like, a redone version of the Smash 4 episode that, like, replaces all the crappy 3DS footage, and that would also, like, sort of cover the DLC. Now that the game is like, in a complete state. And I might redo the 3DS episode, too, but that would be a lot more work. Like, and there's really not a whole lot I could add to that one. Nobody has any thoughts on that.
No.
S-Jinx02, do you want on the call or not?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
We need something to talk about. Okay, Sonic is running. You got stars.
I mean, there's this one fan game I made back a while ago that I don't know if I'd say look back with embarrassment, but I look back and I'm like, yeah, this is not very good.
What was the fan game? Was it Sonic Mega Quest?
No, it was The Great Cursor Caper. It was a Mario fan game made for a contest, which inexplicably won second place.
I once wrote a fan fiction when I was about 12. It was a crossover between Sonic and Metroid. And I deleted it because when I got over, like, oh god, this is embarrassing. But thinking back, it wasn't that bad of an idea. The plot was that after Prime 3, when Planet Phase exploded, some of that Phazon scattered throughout the universe, and some of it hit the Ark. And so the Ark transforms into a new phase. I don't know, I thought it was a good idea.
I don't know enough about
Wasn't the
Metroid
whole-
to comment.
Wasn't the whole thing about Phase, though, that it destroyed all the Phazon? I mean, granted, maybe you would have realized that now, or maybe that would have... I don't know, it's a bit weird.
I mean, yeah, that's probably what the case was, but... if Nintendo made another Prime game, they would make an excuse for more Phazon, so...
I mean, personally, I wouldn't really... I mostly want the Prime gameplay. The plot was actually pretty cool, but it's you know, I could take another Prime with, like, say, a different plot focus.
Alright, S-Jinx wants on the call, so...
Alright, S-Jinx,
Try
can you
and get
tell
him.
me in the chat, have I ever had you, like, do I already have you on Skype? Because if not, I'm gonna have to get that worked out.
Langton Lion is doing fanfiction hunting.
If you don't mind, like, put whatever your Skype name is in the chat, and let me get that, and I'll add you that way, if not.
He's been doing fan fiction hunting and regrets doing so.
His username is sjinx02.
Okay. Let me finish this stage, and then I'll do that. That'll give Ben time to say his teary-eyed goodbyes.
You know, before I eventually come back on for the other fanfiction reading.
Oh yeah, that's true. You will be back soon.
By the way, I said I was going to go to a university thing, but the meeting is actually next week, not this week. So.
Oh well, that worked out well.
I got all dressed up for nothing.
Given how late it's getting, I might go ahead and like, once I finish this and once we do the second fanfiction reading, I might go ahead and hop off, but I'll be back very soon for Sonic 1 GBA. Like, I'm kind of,
Very, very soon, as in weeks from now, or in a few hours?
It could mean anything, really. No, I don't really know. Not weeks from now, but not tonight.
I mean, I probably gotta go eat a dinner in a bit, but like I said, I'm squatting.
I wonder what's for dinner.
After you've scrubbed all the floors in Hyrule, then we can talk about mercy.
Someone made like a clip of the king laughing, in reverse, and it sounds like hop 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 ho.
I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait to bomb to Dongos. All right.
Ah, yes, Sonic 1 Genesis, the second best Sonic game ever made. What's the first best? Sonic 3D Blast?
Sonic 06.
Hang on just a second.
Sonic Eraser is the best.
It certainly has the best music.
Oh, yeah.
I hear noises.
What is going on there? John Freeman heard a noise, so he went faster.
All right. If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna be back in just a bit here. I gotta go eat.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. I guess S-Jinx can join and I can stay.
Ben survives!
This is like Game of Thrones.
Alright, let me see if I can remember how to add people on Skype. Oh no, I apparently do already have... Do I? Do I know this person?
Let us remember the fallen.
And... I'm confused. Apparently there's already a group chat going over here. Nice Windows 98 theme. Yes, thank you.
Josh, you put this background in your videos too. Do you do that to avoid copyright, or do you do that because it's more visually interesting?
The Casino Night background?
Yeah.
I do it so because it's more visually interesting.
Yeah, because Rebel Taxi does kind of the same thing.
Than just having like a black screen or... Like, I have like sort of an idiosyncrasy where I don't like it when people take like 4x3 content and they like put the borders, like the blurry borders on the side.
Well, some people just stretch it to the whole screen.
Well, that's even worse, yeah.
Yeah.
S-Jinx02, I've added you on Skype, but I'm having trouble, like... I don't know if you've added me back. It's difficult to tell what's actually going on.
SKM Pow JY says, I've never chatted before, but if you're looking for fresh meat, I'm down.
Alright.
So I guess...
having all these internet names is fun. S-Jinx02. Let's see... Crazy Bananas 56 says, I just got DKC2 on my 3DS, and that's a fantastic choice. Good job. According to that fanfiction I mentioned, Big the Cat was the result of Eggman and Blaze's intercourse. I want to die. Wow. That sounds fantastic.
I'm down for that.
That's my new headcanon.
By the way, who else is hyped for Big's Fishing Adventure 3?
I mean, that's my game of the year so far. There we go.
Game of the year all years?
And they use Sonic's tears as lube! Oh my!
Okay, now we have to read this. We have to read this.
I don't know.
Is it one of those that's intentionally bad? Because if it is, no. Because that sounds like something that would be intentionally bad.
Alright, I'm attempting to add Sam, that is S-Jinx02, to the chat. We'll see if it comes through.
Is it working?
I hear you.
Alright, good.
Sam Jenkins.
Alright.
Hello there.
Welcome to the Geek Critique streams.
I believe I was here for the Sonic Runner stream, also on the Skype chat.
Oh yeah, I remember
Okay.
you.
I'm the guy who said that Sonic Advance 2 is better than Sonic 2.
Right, and we had to get you on here so you could explain yourself.
Yeah.
We had to put you in geek critique court.
In the hot seat.
I guess I'm guilty then.
Guilty, Your Honor.
Objection.
Overruled.
My client is guilty. He's guilty. Go to train jail.
All right, Sam. So, what was your first exposure to Sonic that would make you think that Advance 2 was better than Sonic 2?
Did you expose yourself to Sonic?
Kind of, yes.
Well, goodbye.
I've probably already mentioned this before, but I grew up with, like, a Game Boy Advance. So the first games I played were Sonic Advance 2, and, believe it or not, Sonic Genesis, and I loved both of them. And
you loved Sonic Genesis?
I loved it, yeah, I loved it when I was a kid, because I didn't know what the real game played like.
Oh, God!
My sweet summer child.
And then, as it moved on, I started to, like, I guess, get more into the modern games. Like, I downloaded all the cutscenes from Sonic Unleashed and put it on the DVD and watched them as if it were a movie.
That sounds amazing.
And it kind of was. And I had never played the game before, so it was, like, really cool. Sonic Colors, I played the multiplayer a little bit because I never really had any consoles of my own, so I'd just be at a friend's house playing games with them. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this was a couple years before Smash 4 came out. This was when I was starting to really get into gaming, so I kind of looked back at all the characters that were in Smash Bros. Brawl and looked at their history, I guess, looked at some of their games, and I thought, oh, that blue guy, I remember him. I'm gonna find some games.
And that's how you started playing Fire Emblem.
Yes, exactly.
and
no,
Mega
actually,
Man.
it was the Ice Climbers. But yeah, like, I went back, found some Sonic games to play. I had upgraded to a DSi the year before the 3DS came out, but that's another story. I got that collection of the classic games for the DS. I don't remember what it's called, but
DS
yeah, that
Classic.
was basically.
I think it's just
Yeah, I
Sonic
think
Classic
that's what it's
Collection, right?
Yeah, it was
Sonic
made by
Classic
it was programmed by the guy that made the DS emulator, and then stopped working on it because Sega hired him, which is pretty funny.
And
But
yet,
yeah,
and yet it was nowhere
Sonic
near as
Classic
good
Collection.
as the actual DS Genesis emulator.
Yep.
So yeah, that's basically my exposure.
Well,
It's an interesting story.
show me on the doll where Sonic touched you.
Here, and here.
My God.
I don't even want to talk about here.
I'm glad this isn't a video call.
What about here?
Oh, yeah.
You might know everything I'm going to do, but that's not going to help you, since I know everything you're going to do. Strange, isn't it? Oh no, I'm at 49! Sonic's like, the fuck you doing, man? That's what his facial expression says there. Oh god! Because I think the end is right over there, so I better go get one more, and then run into a spike and lose them all.
So I kind of want to read this one that Langton linked. It's called Eggs and Cheese.
Oh no.
Well, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and look over it, and if you think it's good, that's the one we'll do.
Okay, we're not doing this one.
Oh dear.
Is it too lewd? It doesn't. It's not. I mean, it's not like it's romantic.
That is not a good way to start that.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of that YouTube series of, like, the person who animates random cartoon characters, like, at a motel or whatever. And they, like, make out.
I have not
See
seen
if I
this.
can
I
find
have
a
not
link to
seen
one
this.
of them.
Oh yeah, well, I definitely want to watch that.
I don't remember what it's called, but there's one of, like, Teen Titans and everybody, basically. Oh, it's called Cartoon Hookups.
Okay, let me think. I think
Should we or shouldn't we?
If you don't want to, you don't have to.
I kind of want to do it.
Here's sort of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something sort of like Tails' Goldfish, where it doesn't seem like it's trying to be bad, but it is.
I have arisen from my grave.
Wise from your grave.
Well, since there's 4 people, I might as well fuck off until you do the fanfiction reading.
All right, we'll call you back on for that.
See ya.
See ya.
Adios.
The way I just said "see ya" there was a reference to the classic Sega Genesis game Comic Zone.
Oh darn! I thought it was Decap Attack.
Little Easter egg for you Comic Zone fans out there.
I read Scott Pilgrim. Does that count?
Scott Pilgrim was a fantastic comic.
It was.
Like, I'm really glad that I saw the movie and then I read the comic, because if it had gone the other way around, I don't think I would have liked the movie as much.
Yeah, like, I watched the movie, but I kind of stopped at parts of the movie and started reading the books while I was watching the movie. Because for some reason it takes me a long time to watch movies. Like, that one took me a couple days to watch. I watched it in, like, little sessions. So in between then, I'd be reading the books, and the book is a tiny bit different, but it's one of the most accurate book to movies I've ever seen.
I think the problem for me was just that, like, after reading the comics, like, Michael Cera is Michael Cera, you know? He is not Scott Pilgrim to me. And the movie's fine. I really like the movie. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one of those people who, like, hates a movie based on the fact that Michael Cera is in it.
Doesn't I haven't really seen a lot that he's in, but doesn't Michael Cera have kind of a reputation for being only able to play himself?
I don't know if it's because, like, that's the way he gets cast, or it's his directing, or what. The only other thing I've seen him in was that. The only thing I've ever seen him in, I think, is Juno. I don't see a whole lot of movies, though.
Party.
Like,
you haven't seen Sausage Party, you probably should, just saying.
I don't think I will.
It's a lot more intense than I thought it would be.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't see a lot of movies. There was a period of time where, like, I saw the Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods movie, and then the next movie I saw was Resurrection F. So.
Wow.
But,
apparently we need the resurrection of the commentary.
We do. So, chat, what's your favorite Sonic? Do you like modern Sonic, or classic Sonic, or Boom Sonic, or Adventures of Sonic Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog Sonic?
Or Sonic Underground Sonic?
I actually finally watched Sonic Underground.
Or Pink Girl Sonic.
Only one episode of it, but...
Or Edgy Green Sonic?
I was explaining to my girlfriend a couple of weeks ago that Sonic Underground was a real thing and telling her the plot of it, and she was completely convinced that I was making it up.
Wow.
To be fair, it doesn't sound like the kind of thing that's made up. Alright, Sonic has two siblings that are never mentioned before or again, and he's royalty. Oh, and they play in a band, but they use their instruments to fight evil.
They're all voiced by the same person.
Yes.
Even the female.
Triplets
Julia
born,
White has
the throne awaits.
Julia White has a disturbing history of playing women.
Has he played other women?
He played Steve Urkel's female cousin, I believe.
That's true.
Who is, just him in drag.
Alright. I need to focus up and get the last 2 emeralds in Starlight Zone.
Alright, we'll carry it, don't worry.
It's time to play for real.
As opposed to that fake playing you were doing before.
To quote Mega Man X, time to get serious!
He says through a drive-through speaker.
That is what he's saying, right? Doesn't he say time to get serious?
I think so.
That's what I always heard it as.
Which one was that again?
I think that was in Mega Man X4. Like when he gets low on health, he says time to get serious.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. For some reason, I thought it might have been Maverick Hunter X, though.
Oh, Maverick Hunter X. Maverick Hunter X got. I like how Ben is gone, and so we're talking about Mega Man now. I'm sure he appreciates that, but Maverick Hunter X got really annoying with having to say the voices all the time every time he used a weapon.
Yeah, oh yeah, like I'm trying to remember. It's like
tornado hold, tornado hold, tornado hold.
Yeah, I thought that when I was playing it myself. However, is it better or worse than Super Mario Advance 1?
I'll think about that
Super
in a
Mario
minute.
Advance 1 is...
Concentration
I love
time.
the advanced games.
Oh yeah, I love the games. I'm just saying that Advance 1 spammed dialogue up your rear end.
Oh yeah, true, it did.
This is as far as you go.
I'm gonna finish you off.
Just what I needed.
I'll remember this.
I am the Great Wart. Ha ha ha.
I never got that far.
Have some bombs. I don't know why I know all of these. I just do.
Because they said them so many times. Oh dear.
I would just like to point out that I really don't like Sonic 1 special stages at all.
Man, I think they're all right. You know, it's not something I'd be like, you know, oh man, yeah, buddy, they're bringing those back for Sonic 4. That sounds great. and
Okay.
The chat. I think the chat is devolving into memery.
Well, that's not surprising.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, Dubs is mad at us.
Why? Because we started talking about Mega Man after losing him?
Yeah, probably.
Stones.
I'll tell you what, we're having trouble keeping the conversation going right now anyway. So, Ben, you're rehired. Welcome to the fold.
Yeah, you got to be quiet so you can play for real.
Can I just say for the record that I've only ever played one Mega Man game, and that was Mega Man Battle Network?
Well, you should go play the other.
I'm not saying I don't want to, it's just, like...
No. See, here's the thing. Leave the stream right now. Go do it. There, like Mega Man 9 or 10, something, anything. Oh god, I just saw my avatar on the stream. I forgot.
Which one should I start with? Because I have an emulator, so I mean...
Okay.
Mega Man 2.
I think Ben has opinions about this.
What were we asking about? what were you talking about? Seriously.
Oh boy.
Mega Man 2 tends to be the community favorite, but it's an opinion among some.
So you want to get into Mega Man? Okay, brother. Let me break it down.
I said brother.
Are you gonna break into a
That's
rap?
how you know
Please break into a
That's
rap.
how you know the Mega Man rap.
Unfortunately, I don't have that. But if you want to get into Mega Man, X1 is the ultimate Mega Man game.
Alrighty then.
I would agree. Mega Man X. If I was gonna recommend one, that's the one I'd probably go with.
The thing is, I do feel like X kind of is the point where it was maybe a bit more combat focused over platforming. So I guess it depends. Like, would you prefer combat or heavy platforming?
The X series has aged better than the original Mega Man games, I think.
I feel like it's about the same, honestly.
Also, we need to shut up because.
No, you guys can talk. I'm just not gonna talk while I'm trying to do this.
Well, time for me to play Mega Man X. With the Wii remote.
I mean, I will say it's
play it with the classic controller.
But I will say I do kind of feel it's not like huge, but the classic series, in my opinion, kind of has a different nuance to it.
No, I agree. It's just that if you want to introduce someone to Mega Man, picking an 8-bit title is not the best idea.
Okay, regarding Mega Man versus Mega Man X,
I thought you weren't going to talk.
What is this, sequelitis?
Well, I got them all.
Yeah.
What is this, Castlevania?
You guys don't understand. If a player who'd never played a video game before, pressed every button on the controller, they would figure out that Mega Man can shoot lemons. This is the best game of all time! That's all I'm saying!
Yeah! Yeah, lemons!
Lemons! Riding on cars!
That whole video was ripped off of another video, by the way. Aaron plagiarized that video.
Aw.
Aaron plagiarized his life.
Aaron's life is plagiarism.
The game
Oh my god,
the game
Josh
grumps in
did it.
general are nothing but a cheap, second-rate Geek Critique ripoff, in my opinion.
What? yeah, no, Aaron totally ripped you off, Josh. He did it so hard that he got a time machine
Oh no.
and did it that way.
Alright,
he's-
Mega Man X.
So he's
Yeah, okay,
king.
so Mega Man X versus original Mega Man.
So if you enjoy X1, then play X2, and if you enjoy that one, don't play X3.
I like
Honestly,
X3 okay. X3 was alright.
Honestly,
okay.
I would say to try one of like the 8-bit ones in there because I do feel like
2
They
and
are-
3 are the best of all those.
I feel like they are really good. I guess it kind of depends on your tolerance of that kind of thing. Because
And
I mean, I personally had no problem playing NES games in any real fashion, but I know not everybody shares that.
Well, the thing is, when we say the 8-bit series, by the way, I think we're generally talking about like Mega Man 1 through 10, the ones without any sort of designation beyond that.
True.
Yeah.
One thing is, well, people usually call them classic. It's probably a misnomer to call them 8-bit because 7, 8, and Mega Man and Bass are not 8-bit.
But
Yeah, but that's the thing. They all
original
play
Mega
like
Man, the original Mega Man series is more focused on like single-screen platforming challenges.
Yeah. See that? Yeah, that's
The
what I'm
Mega Man
getting
X
at.
series has slopes and the dash button and
Honestly, I'd say it's more combat focused.
No, it's really not. The point of a Mega Man X game is just to make you feel like a badass. Like the best Mega Man games are the best Mega Man X games are the ones that just let you. Mega Man X is all about speed, I think.
which is probably why I so vastly prefer it to the original Mega Man games.
Yeah, basically.
You know what,
It's much like how Sonic is to Mario in that the original Mega Man was all about success. But Mega Man X is a little easier because it's more focused on how badass you can look and feel while you're playing it, and how fast you can beat the level.
Yeah, I feel like that might be a better summary because it's like, I feel like the classic series is more about how you like move and bob and weave around stuff. Well,
Why
no,
is
that's
that
not
wheel
quite
so
what I'm getting to.
That wheel in Scrap Brain Zone is really smooth.
Yeah, that's one of the effects of the remaster. The special stage rotation is smooth, and
Yeah, let's just make everything rotate in 60 frames per second.
although
are we talking
Sonic sprite rotation is not smooth, which I think makes sense. I
Which
think
it
that makes it feel like you can see the as these platforms move. I don't know if the stream's 60 FPS or not, but if it is,
I think it is.
I think that's why they changed the Sonic 2 beta sprites, because the Sonic 2 beta sprite animation was really smooth and it was weird.
well, I mean, I remember in the beta of the Retro Sonic engine that Taxman released in 2004. If I'm remembering right, I think there was actually an option to turn smooth sprite rotation on or off. So when Sonic would go through a loop, he would rotate smoothly through it instead of
Angle
going
snapping.
through angle snapping through frames of animation.
Okay, so my friend Meredith, who discovered Tails' Goldfish, is now searching for another Sonic fanfiction for us.
That's good. Well, we haven't got long because this isn't gonna take too much longer now.
Whoa, you can wall jump on the same wall. That's pretty cool.
What are you talking about?
In Mega Man X.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mario wall jumping is kind of like sort of zigzagging, but Mega Man, it feels kind of like a wall climb in a sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was stuck for a second, but then I realized how to do it.
Regardless of whether he ripped anyone off or not, I think the Mega Man X Sequelitis episode is one of the best things Ego Raptor's ever done.
Well, yeah.
Other than kicking JonTron off of Game Grumps. What?
No.
Yeah, I like John. I don't care quite as much for Ego Raptor.
I hate them both, to be honest. I liked John back in the day, but lately his videos sucked ass.
Because John has succumbed to corporations or whatever. Like,
Well, it's not even that. Like, he treats his videos like they're internet TV.
You think
Like,
so? How so?
He puts, like, okay, if I go into a John Tron review right now, his most recent one,
It's that one
like
about
a
that
dungeon.
movie.
the Dark
Yeah.
Dungeons episode, it starts out like he has a cast of characters and they're all in this house and there's like
Well, I don't really mind
there's
that. Like, that's kind of what the
they're-
same
and
like
they're in a
progression that.
castle and
That's kind of the
there's,
same
like-
progression that Nostalgia Critic had too. You know, of ending up
Yeah, but
having
that's-
characters.
yeah, but that's the thing with personality-driven game reviews or movie reviews. You watch them for the personality. You don't watch them for everybody else.
Well, maybe. I mean, I'm sort of like I think either style could be successful. I mean, like there are
Yeah.
people who like watch Linkara's comic book reviews for the plot, you know, for his
Like
ongoing
Hentai?
storyline.
I mean, that's, even Josh doesn't do that. Like, I remember that video you did.
Yeah,
And I was so happy you did that.
Yeah, there's a Patreon bonus video called TGC Adventures that I made when I was testing out my camera that sort of parodies the tendency of online review personalities to add characters and story arcs and stuff.
But anyway, every John Turner review is 20 to 23 minutes long because he wants to make it like a TV episode. And he has a full cast, and he has an assistant director, a director of photography, a gaffer, a makeup artist, practical effects man, set designer, and production assistant.
Well, I don't think it's really a problem to, like, I don't think it's...
For me, it's annoying because it's a waste of money. You don't really need any of that.
Well, sure, I mean, I guess, but if it's what he wants to spend the money on, that's fine. Like, YouTube, like, videos getting, like, better production values, like, I don't think that's something to complain about, as long as it's still, like, sort of accepted that not everybody's
here's
going
the
to be able to
thing.
do that. Like, if it was an
When
expectation that in order to be a YouTuber, you had to look like this, and you had to, like, have this level of production quality, that would be a problem, but I don't think it's like that.
What annoys me is that he's not doing it to make his videos better. He's doing it to grab the attention of corporations. That's what annoys me. He's not doing this because he thinks his videos are make them look better. He's doing it so that they can be more attractive to the bigwigs with money.
Well, I mean, if that's what he wants to do to make a living, I can't really fault him for it. And I mean, we can debate subjectivity as far as like style goes, as like stylistically speaking, his older videos were more appealing, and that's fine.
I think that too.
and
I think it was because of Starcade.
Yes, Starcade was really a big production. You could tell.
Well, that's different because that wasn't really JonTron. That was just a separate thing.
And by the way, that is Sonic 1, the Android version, with all the emeralds. There we go.
Dun 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 dun.
You're a little bit behind.
Oh.
I'm
It's
an
alright.
acapella artist, if any of you are wondering. I know you probably weren't, but just wanted to point that out.
I specifically
Is that-
went out of my way to create dissonance.
Game Planner Carol Yoss, thank you.
Okay, is there a different Mega Man game I can play? Because this one is challenging. Not challenging, it's just frustrating.
Oh, well,
Oh. Sweet summer child.
Mega Man games are known for being challenging.
Alright, if you want a
Only
less
shoot in
challenging,
one direction.
X2 is much easier.
I think Mega Man 2 is really easy. Just go beat Metal Man and then you'll be fine.
Mega Man 2 is deceptively hard.
I guess so, yeah. It's hard for me to judge difficulty in older games like that because, like, things that I would never think to complain about, like, because
hard
they
to
weren't
just-
because they weren't staples of the way game design worked back then. Like, people who weren't exposed to that will have problems with them. Like, I know Exo Paradigm Gamer went off on the way that like DKC2 does its save structure, because like he came in with the Game Boy Advance, like that was the first way he experienced it, and you could save anywhere there. And like I agree that it's a problem, but when I was a kid playing it, like it was just sort of part of the way the games were made.
Honestly, I came in with the GameCube, and I never really gave a darn.
Unpopular opinion that I've only recently sort of noticed, as I've been playing Metroid Zero Mission and Metroid Fusion, and I never noticed this before, but man, I really don't like the Game Boy Advance sound hardware.
I wouldn't call that an unpopular opinion. It's known for being a bit undercooked.
They use a lot of trumpets in GBA music.
Yeah.
Especially in Pokemon.
Well, yes.
But back in the day, it was very crisp compared to the Game Boy, the regular Game Boy.
All right, so do we have a fanfic to read?
Yes, we do.
I have Sonic High School.
I have just a bet.
We should probably do yours first because mine is really long for no reason.
Yeah, we need we don't need something too long.
Short. Mine is pretty short. I don't know if it's. I should probably link this to my friend Meredith.
But yeah, something I want to mention before it gets too far out of relevance is that I believe the reason the Game Boy Advance sounded like it did is because it did not actually have a sound chip.
Hey, Crazy Bananas, by the way, I see you're already to the sword boss. That's impressive that you've gotten there that fast. That thing gave me trouble.
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance really depended on what the graphics did. Because you can't have great graphics without sacrificing the sound quality and vice versa. Which is weird because regular Chain of Memories has a great soundtrack and it has full motion video. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess the main thing is that since it didn't have a sound chip proper, it relied on the software to create the music. So, naturally that would take up some space in the cartridge and so on and so forth.
All right,
I still don't know how they did that.
Let's see here. Shadow Rouge is on a bet to go out with Shadow. What happens when he finds out no flames?
No, it's Shadouge.
Shadouge Rouge? Shadouge Rouge.
Alright, so who's voicing
No.
who?
Are we just going to do like what we did before and do the turns reading the...
No. I kind of want to just narrate the whole thing.
All right, no, that'll work. You go ahead and narrate. As we come to new characters, we will decide who's going to play them. This is Just a Bet by Hershey. So
what happens when he finds out no flames?
Yeah, no flames. You cannot flame this fanfic. It has 6 reviews and 4 favorites. And it was published in November of 2006. Truly the greatest month in Sonic's history.
Oh yeah. that was
And not
that month
even
will live in infamy.
not even the third paragraph, and I see a fan character. It's going to be good.
Remember Neil? This is Nails.
I feel like I need some like frothy music for this segment, like do 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 do. Welcome
you
to
need
Critique Fanfiction Theater.
So basically, the soundtrack to Sonic Jam on the Gamecom.
That'll work fine.
you need elevator music.
Let's see here.
Or Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh,
No,
God.
stop.
Oh,
That's way too loud.
Oh,
And not in good quality. But I got something here. Here we go.
how about you just get a trumpet and try to play Green Hill Zone into it?
I actually have a trumpet.
Play the Sonic thing.
What you're hearing right now is in fact the title screen music for Sonic Jam on the Gamecom. I don't think you guys in Skype can hear it, but they should be able to hear it.
Well, I mean, if I go back and watch it, I can hear it then.
All right. So Ben, you want to start? You can narrate.
Hello, welcome again to Sonic Fanfiction Night. Tonight's fanfiction reading, Just a Bet by Hershey. Shadouge Rouge is on a bet to go out with Shadow. What happens when he finds out? No flames. Hi.
I should explain. This is the way that it begins. The first paragraph is hi. The second paragraph is a row of Z's.
It's a bee flew into the fan fiction.
So we need somebody to play Rouge. Rouge the Bat.
So Sonic's 25th anniversary stream is a character in this.
I guess I'll be Rouge. That'll work. Hey sis, what are you up to?
Rouge took a seat next to Nails at the famous Club Rouge. Rouge was wearing black, expensive tang top with jeans.
Tang top.
Tang top. All right, we need somebody to be Rouge's sister Nails.
I can try.
Go for it. I can try.
You remember what you said before?
Oh, I like this already.
That's good. That's good.
Nails asked her. She thought for a moment, and in the middle of her thoughts, Nails came in.
I can get any man to fall for me.
She mocked childishly.
Yeah, so?
Rouge crossed her arms, waiting for a response. The club was full of animals, all shapes and sizes. Oh.
I bet you could not have this one guy at least have a crush on you.
Nails challenged her.
Nails, please. Any guy would get at least a crush just by looking at me.
Rouge brushed her fingers through her short blonde hair.
What?
Okay, hold on.
We were like, wait, what?
Like, I have a
didn't know this was
mental
Rouge's
picture.
Sonic Boom redesign.
I have a mental picture in my head of how this scene is going, and that just threw everything off.
Like, I had to, like, remember what does Rouge look like. No, she didn't.
It was really short.
Yeah,
Maybe
okay.
it's her Sonic
It
Boom
was
redesign.
under her fur, basically.
So Rouge said any guy would get at least a crush by looking at me, and then Nails replies,
If that is true, you would take this bet.
Nails smiled as Rouge nodded.
I bet you couldn't have this one guy fall for you. And I get to pick the guy. If I win, I get your Chaos Emerald.
What?
Rouge interrupted.
But if you win, you get my Diamond Heart.
What?
Announced to Nails. Rouge stopped and said, "What?"
What's a diamond heart?
It's a diamond heart. I think it's pretty obvious.
Probably
Maybe
in
it's just
Fire
a big
and Ace.
jewel? Alright. On one condition, I get to approve this guy before I meet him.
She told her sister.
Be my guest.
Nails smirked. Ooh.
I already who I am going to... Okay, what? I already who I am going to pick.
The way that you're doing this character reminds me a little bit of Snively, and imagining it like that works really well.
Sniveling!
It's just him wearing a wig.
Yep. It's Snively in a bat costume.
Trying to mix it with Snively and Aridin from Homestuck.
Alright, here we go. Let me get this straight.
Rouge started.
You choose a guy, and if I can get this guy to at least have crush on me, I win.
Yep, pretty easy, isn't it?
I know you too well, self-insert fan character. What's the catch?
Questioned Rouge, questioningly.
No, cat.
It says cough, so...
Off Nails. No.
Why did Nails cough there?
No, you have to ask this desperately.
Okay then, who is it?
Rouge asked desperately. Desperately.
I love how they spelled it as Van with an A.
Yes.
Okay, then.
Okay, Van.
See that hedgehog over there?
Oh god.
Pointed to a faraway table.
The blue one.
Rouge guessed, trying to get a good view.
It gets worse.
Oh no.
No, the black one.
Corrected Nails.
Ha! Him? This is going to be a piece of cake. Oh, I'm sorry.
Suddenly-
This is going to be a piece of cake!
Rouge suddenly
of
changed
cake.
into Sonic. It's a cake, no sweat.
Piece of cake.
Rouge laughed. She cleaned of her shirt and added,
He's cute. Just don't get mad to see me wearing you old necklace.
You old necklace. That sounds like an insult.
It does. Ah, you old necklace.
Rouge did her walk all the way to the table.
I should clarify. Yes, the emphasis is in the fanfic.
Yeah, her walk.
You know, in quotes.
Yes.
You know, the walk.
Yeah, you know the one.
How you doing, boys? Oh, go ahead.
She said in a flirty voice. Also, I want to see Josh on camera doing the walk.
I don't know what the walk is.
Come
Make
on
one
with
up.
something.
You think it is?
You know
You
what
don't have
it
to
is.
know what it is. You just have to believe it.
I think that's the essence of the walk, yes.
You have to feel it in your heart.
Talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? But anyway, the blue hedgehog hit the black one in the arm. She is talking to me, he whispered. Shadow had his eyes closed and didn't even bother opening them. Rouge leaned forward to him.
So, what's your name?
Rouge,
And then in italics, Rouge's point of view. Rouge's POV, rather.
so okay,
Her
Rouge,
paw.
I guess.
It's a first-person perspective from Rouge now, so I guess this will be me narrating. He opened his eyes, and that's what scared me. His eyes were red! That is not normal. What?
I have pink eye.
Wait, hold on. What?
He opened his eyes, and that's what scared me. People aren't supposed to open their eyes.
His eyes were red. This is not normal. The blue one pushed in front of me.
I'm Sonic! Sonic the Kidnapper!
Okay, that's not in it. Just in case you all got your hopes up.
Here, take this drink. I promise it's not loaded.
Oh, no.
The world's fastest thing alive!
He said proudly. Sonic was all blue with green eye and a friendly smile. Just the one green eye, though.
Shadow had pink eye, Sonic has green eye.
Oh, that reminds me of that comic where his skin peeled back.
Yeah. I looked at the dark rodent, still a little shocked of his eyes. They were once again closed. He was black with red streaks on his quills. He also had a puff of white fur on his chest. It's just describing the character design at this point, God. I coughed a couple of times to get his attention, but he just sat there.
Oh, don't mind him. That's Shadow. He's not very friendly.
Remarked Sonic. Apparently it's not Rouge's point of view anymore.
Yeah, see, the weird thing is that this completely seems to disregard Adventure 2.
Alright, someone else be the narrator.
Ben, I think you're back to narrating now.
Okay. Rouge smiled.
That's okay. I am sometimes shy.
I am not shy! Shouted Shadow.
I was really not expecting that. His eyes were furious. It's just back to Rouge's point of view now.
You know, unceremoniously.
Okay, calm down, I said, then turned to Sonic and added, come tomorrow and bring your friend.
Rouge walked back to her sister.
So, did he like you?
Nails made a slight smile. And then the 20... This is my second fanfic, no flames.
See, the buzzing cuts off the answer, so it's really just like it. Just like the anniversary.
Well, I'm going to read the reviews. So remember, this story was posted in 2006. In 2011, somebody said, it's a shame you never continued. I would have liked to see this story come to an end. In 2010, OMG XD, Sonic likes Rouge. Lol, when is the next chapter? This is really good.
Hee, good one. If Amy saw the way Sonic was acting, she could easily kill him for that. And just one question, doesn't Rouge's hair is white? Well, expecting more. Love.
And then there's actually,
poorly.
And then there's actually a legit review as well.
Poorly formatted as it was, it raises a lot of good points.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing about fanfiction.net. Even if it's a shitty story, like Tales' Goldfish, you still got that one reviewer which is overly critical.
Right? Like, somebody reviewed this and was like, When writing a story, imagine that you're making a meal. You expect people to like it and praise you, right? Don't we all? However, what you give is what you get. So, what do we need to make a tasty dish? Of course, some fine produce, vegetables are a must, the right amount of spices, and a kitchen with tools. I'm not making this up. This is really a review that somebody left on this story. This is their important kitchen metaphor.
Yeah, I like to think it just devolved into a recipe.
Basically, at the end of the review, basically, I'm really hungry.
And that's how you bake a cake. Wait, what were we talking about?
His eyes were red, damn pot smokers. Alright. It's been fun, everyone. Before too long, probably next week, although I might do it over the weekend.
Don't say next week. It'll have the Geek Critique curse.
That's true. At no particular time in the future, Sonic 1 Game Boy Advance.
At no particular point in the future, Sonic Advance the Geek Critique review.
Yep. At no particular point in the future, the DK wrap-up.
At no particular point in the future, Mega Man X4.
I never said I'd do Mega Man X4.
Yes, you did.
Did I? Well, I'd have to do
Yeah.
Mega Man. I'd have to do the earlier games first.
No, not a Geek Critique, like a stream.
Oh yeah, playing it on the stream. Well, I played it during the Sega Saturn stream, but I don't think you were here for that.
No, I was there, and I said, and you said, like, I should play Mega Man X4 proper sometime and get Ben in here.
That's
he likes
right.
Mega Man. And I'm like, when are you gonna do Mega Man X4?
At no particular point in the future, you keep geeking, I'll keep eating Tails' Goldfish.
He's upset about the tummy because he had a tummy ache.
All right. Well,
Brightspark
I hope you all
says, "No, I'm playing because I got to a $50 on my on this donation while playing Sonic 1. Like I'm gonna be playing Sonic 1 Game Boy Advance. I don't know what you mean by the good version or the best version, but it's Sonic 1 for the Advance. And I will also fill up Stealth's version of it, so that's going to be great.
And we're going to be digging his grave.
Yep, get that ready for me.
All right.
I'll be thinking about what I want on my
Crazy
tombstone.
Banana wants to know when the DK wrap-up is. At no particular point
At no particular point in the future. No, that would definitely be out by now. The audio on it's completely done. Somebody who is on it, like, I need, like, 10 minutes probably of their time like doing something on it, and he got married and went on his honeymoon, which is awesome. I like he was like, I'm really sorry about this, and I was like, it's fine, it's no big deal. It's been in production for this long, who cares? But
he needs to get his priorities straight.
Yeah, man.
So that will vary. I really hope to have that out next week though.
And eventually, I'll make Mega Man 02 the definitive dub, which I don't care if you watch it, you won't. But
made it for what it sounds like the last 30 seconds. Hi, Ben. Other Ben, not definitive dubs, Ben.
And maybe someday.
And
I will
we're
program
wrapping
a
up.
thing.
All right, so I'll say the catchphrase one more time to properly sign off the stream, because that's a thing that has to happen apparently. Until next time, you keep geeking. I'll keep critique. Thank you.
And I shit on your mom's face.
I mean, that's your choice, you know. As long as she consents to it, I don't.
I was referencing Angry Video Game Nerd, so that it fell short. I apologize.
Okay, I was just making sure the stream actually went until I said critiquing, because sometimes it cuts off. So,